Why do you think women, especially modern women today, are labeled delusional?
As a man, if you're a loser, there's an immediate feedback that you're a loser. The world lets you know. Your peers don't respect you, girls don't look at you, you're virtually invisible. So you get negative ramifications for your inadequacies. But as a woman, you don't experience that. It's not until a guy like me comes along and says, you're stupid, or that's not right, or whatever, or challenges you on your viewpoints, which, let's be honest here, most guys are gonna do that because they're trying to get laid. It's not until that happens that they kind of wake up. And even if it does happen, they're gonna go out and say, you're just a misogynist, write you off, and walk away. So women don't necessarily get negative consequences for poor behavior or poor decisions until later on in life.
If you were making $100K a year, how much would you expect your man to make?
Equal or more.
Why?
Because when I look for a partner, I look for equal, or if it's more, I'm not complaining, but it's got to be equal.
What do you think about this statement? My money is our money, her money is hers.
I agree.
Okay.
I 100% agree.
Why?
Our money is our money, but her money is her money, right? She's earning for herself, but like, no.
With all due respect, what the fuck?
You sound so dumb right now.
You expect a man to protect and provide for you?
Yes.
If a man is expected to provide and protect, shouldn't he have some form of authority over his woman?
No, not at all.
Why?
A relationship is 50-50.
But it's not 50-50 if his money is our money and your money is yours. That's like 80-20.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
So let me get this straight. She openly admits to being unfair to the men with whom she's in a relationship while also claiming to want equality. So if you date her, she gets access to your earnings, but you won't be able to touch any of hers. She says, a relationship is 50-50. Then she turns around and says, his money is our money, but her money is hers. She's obviously very confused. She's completely lost in her feminist beliefs. Guys, please avoid this type of women.
So you were sleeping with 3 co-workers from the sandwich shop?
Yes, Your Honor.
You contacted 2 of them to say you were pregnant, but you never contacted him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
All this from my girlfriend, and she said no, so I guess it's over.
I'll say yes.
The reason I'm hesitant to fall into my traditional gender roles is I don't want to feel like a sucker. I don't want to get played, right? So I don't want to be put in a position where I go on a date with a girl, I pay for the meal, I do all these romantic gestures, I get her flowers, etc., and then end of the date, 8 p.m., 9 p.m., whatever, and then she goes over to the guy's house who she's him. He never had to pay for a date. He never took her out. He's just some hot dude that she likes to. So that to me is, in order for guys to hold up their end of the deal when it comes to traditional gender roles and being a gentleman, women also have to move in a way that is deserving. Like, women ought to curate men's desire to be gentlemen. And that's not going to occur when we know that the way people are moving is pretty scandalous.
Most women say they want a traditional man. They want a man that can protect and provide for them. But there are very few women that are traditional. Nowadays, modern women act like men and are too masculine for men to deal with. Men have told women over and over the fact that they are attracted to femininity rather than masculinity. But unfortunately, the majority of women will not care to listen to men. Thus, men are choosing to avoid them.
Let me tell y'all a story that's a perfect example as to why when you have standards or rules when you're dating, like you don't date people with kids or you don't date, whatever it is, whatever your rule is, you never break your rule because they will always show you why you got that rule in place, right? So I went on a date with this guy. While we were texting, you know, we exchanged numbers, I met him out, and he tells me that he's a year younger than me. Now, I have a very specific rule that I've kind of learned over the years, not to date any, I don't care if it's a year, a month, a day, not to date anyone younger than me. Because we know scientifically, like we already know that men mature physically, emotionally, mentally behind women. So if you have someone your age, the guy's already behind you anyway. So you add any kind of age gap, now he's like double, triple behind you, right? So we go on a date. It was a good day, like it was fine or whatever. But something happened to where we didn't see each other for a while. And he didn't call me for like a few days. So I blocked his number because I'm thinking, okay, you're not interested after the first date. That's fine.
This lady talks about how mature she is, but we all can hear from her own mouth how immature she is. Just because the guy didn't call her for a couple of days, she blocked his number instead of calling him to ask him why he didn't call, which shows how childish and immature she actually is. She's so entitled and sounds so lost in her reasoning. She thinks that just because she's older than a man, that makes her more mature than him. Maturity is not all about age. I've seen so many adults who act so childish and immature, and she's just one of them.
I ended up unblocking his number because whatever, you know, and like 2 days later, he texts me or he calls me and he's like, hey, like, I just want to explain why I hadn't heard from him before I had blocked him. You know what childish ass reason this guy gave me? He was like, the last time that me and him texted, we were texting and I didn't text him back. Like, he texted the chat last and I never responded. So he didn't respond for a few days because he didn't want to double text me. Are we in high school? You didn't want to double text me? You know what that's telling me? It's telling me that not only are you immature, which I already knew because you're a year younger than me and I shouldn't have went on the date anyway, but it tells me that you feel like you don't got to chase me. I got guys double, triple, quadruple texting me. But you feel like you don't gotta text me after I gave you the chance of going on a date with me? Okay. We don't gotta see each other no more. Like, it's just so childish. And had I not broken my rule, I wouldn't have wasted my time. Not that the date was a waste of time. I mean, it was a date. It was whatever. But you see why you don't break your rule? Childish.
Get the French toast out of here.
I don't care how fine you are, how fine you think you are, how good you look, or what you got going on. The first second that I find out you mean or got a smart ass mouth, and for my next magic trick, make this hoe disappear. Out my face.
It is true that, on average, women age much faster than men. They do mature physically faster, but that does not mean they mentally mature quicker. That's because mental maturity is different from physical maturity. But apparently, this lady doesn't seem to understand that. Alright guys, that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.